Hello everyone, my name is Priya Singh Range and I am working as an assistant professor at the LJ Institute of Physiotherapy. Today we'll be talking about the different types of electrodes. So we'll be discussing what is an electrode, what are the different types of electrodes which would comprise of surface electrodes, invasive electrodes and implantable electrodes. So beginning with what is an electrode. When we talk about electrodes in physiotherapy, they are comprised of an electrical conductor that is used in order to conduct the electric current from the electrical device or the circuit to the body tissues of the subject. So in a way we say that an electrode is something that is going to conduct the electric current from whatever machine you are using or whatever apparatus you are using, be it TENS, be it IFT, be it an electrical stimulation device, to the body's tissue wherever you want to apply it. So the different types of electrodes are surface electrodes, invasive electrodes and implantable electrodes. Beginning with surface electrodes. Surface electrodes, like the name suggests, are electrodes that are applied to the surface of the patient's skin. They are non-invasive and hence they are not painful for the patient. There are different types of surface electrodes that we usually use in physiotherapy. These are rubber electrodes, vacuum electrodes, metal electrodes or self-adhesive electrodes. Beginning with conducive rubber electrodes. These are usually made up of rubber and they are applied to the skin surface using a conducting medium, which usually is a gel. We can also use water as a medium. We use lint material that is soaked in water and we wrap this lint material around the rubber electrode and then we apply it to the patient's skin. But that is not very commonly used. Using gel is more convenient nowadays and hence gel is more commonly used. Rubber electrodes are the most commonly used electrodes in physiotherapy. The advantage of using a rubber electrode is that it can be reused and they are relatively cheap. If we compare the cost of a rubber electrode to say a vacuum electrode or a metal electrode, rubber electrodes are comparatively cheaper. They are flexible and hence they can conform to any body contour, so you can apply a rubber electrode to any body surface area. The disadvantage of using a rubber electrode is that they break really easily and that is why you need to change them again and again, or you need a lot of maintenance if you want to use them for a longer period. Rubber electrodes are usually used for the application of TENS, IFC, etc. Next is the metal electrodes. Metal electrodes, like the name suggests, are made up of any kind of metallic conductor. Usually they are made up of stainless steel and they require a conducting medium, which is usually water. Like with rubber electrodes we usually use gel. With metal electrodes we usually use water. Here, like I explained, there is a lint cover or there is a lint material that we are soaking in water and then we are applying it to the metal electrode first and then this is applied to the patient's body tissues. And we need a strap or an adhesive tape in order to secure the metal electrode over the patient's body. The advantage of using a metal electrode is that it can be reused and it can be used for a longer period since it is not broken up easily, so you can use it for a longer period. And they also conduct current better since a metal is the best conductor that you can use in order to provide current to any tissue. The disadvantage of using a metal electrode is that they may rust if they are not maintained properly. If you leave them in a humid environment or if you leave them with the water still over the electrode, they might rust very easily, so they require a lot of maintenance. You need to make sure that the electrode is very dry and you need to make sure that it is not kept in a humid environment. The metal electrodes are also not very flexible and hence you cannot use these kind of electrodes over all the body surfaces since they are not going to conform according to the body contour. There is a higher risk of shock because firstly the metal we are using is a really good conductor and secondly we are using water. There might be spillage of water due to accident. Sometimes it may happen that we may not wring the lint material really well, and water may keep dripping out of the material, and that may also lead to shock. So the risk of shock is quite higher when we are using metal electrodes. Metal electrodes are usually used for the application of electrical stimulation. Next is the vacuum electrodes. Vacuum electrodes, like rubber electrodes, are also made up of rubber. As you can see in the figure, you have a rubber electrode which is shaped like a cup. Why do we need this cup shaped kind of electrode? Because we want to create a good vacuum, and we want it to be cup shaped so that we get a good vacuum, we get a good sealing effect. So we use here vacuum in order to secure the electrode to the body tissues. Like with the metal electrodes and the rubber electrodes, we were using adhesive tape or we were using strap. With the vacuum electrodes, we'll be using vacuum in order to secure the electrode over the body's tissues. And we are using a dampened sponge insert as a medium for the current to flow. Like in the case of rubber electrode, we were using gel. In case of metal electrode, we were using water. Here also we'll be using water, but we'll be using a sponge that is dampened with water. The advantage of using a vacuum electrode is that it can be reused, and also it does not require any additional conducting medium like a gel or a lint material that is soaked with water, and hence it is quite hassle free, it is less messy, and also that the vacuum electrodes can easily conform to the patient's body tissues. The disadvantage with a vacuum electrode is that you get an added expense of having the vacuum machine. You need to have that suction apparatus in order to create the vacuum, and that becomes an added expense. Also, if by mistake or by accident you are using a continuous vacuum or a high vacuum, it may also cause bruising of the patient's skin. These kind of electrodes are usually used for the application of interferential therapy. The last kind of surface electrodes are the self-adhesive electrodes. Self-adhesive electrodes, like you can see in the figure, they seem just like the rubber electrodes. The only difference between the self-adhesive electrodes and the rubber electrodes is that you have an additional layer of gel over this kind of rubber surface, and you also have a layer on the periphery that is made up of some adhesive material. So you do not require any additional gel to be applied over the electrode. There is no requirement of applying some securing material like a strap or an adhesive. You have that material ready over the electrode, so you just have to pick out the seal and you have to place the electrode over the patient's body surface, and so it creates a lot of less hassles for the therapist as well as for the patients. Sometimes even the patients can apply these electrodes by themselves, and another advantage is that it is less time consuming, since it becomes really time consuming in order to apply water or apply gel and then secure it, and sometimes the electrodes may even fall off from the surface, and that is very much reduced in the usage of a self-adhesive electrode. Since you are using the adhesion in order to stick the electrode to the patient's body surface, it does not fall off very easily. The patient can apply themselves, and it becomes very convenient for the therapist as well as the patient. The advantage of using a self-adhesive electrode is that you don't require an additional conducting material or securing material, and it is also flexible, hence it can conform to the patient's body contour. The disadvantage of using a self-adhesive electrode is that they cannot be reused. Right now in the market we have some kinds of electrodes, self-adhesive electrodes that can be reused, but it is not for repetitive usage. You can use it only for a limited number of uses and then you have to throw it away. Whereas when using rubber electrodes or metal electrodes or vacuum electrodes, you can use them till the time they break. So that is not the case with self-adhesive electrodes. You can use them only till that adhesive material is there on the electrode. Once that adhesive material wears off or the gel wears off, you need to throw it away. So they cannot be used for a long time, or they cannot be reused, and they are also really expensive. So you cannot use these kind of electrodes for everyone. But the additional advantage of using self-adhesive electrodes is that it reduces the chances of spread of infection from one patient to another in case you forget to clean the electrode quite nicely, and hence it reduces the chances of spreading the infection from one patient to another patient. Self-adhesive electrodes usually are given for self-treatments, usually used for TENS or IFT. The next category of electrodes is invasive electrodes. Like with surface electrodes, we were not invading any kind of body tissues. We were just applying the electrodes over the body surface area. Here with invasive electrodes, we are invading the body tissues, and we need to do this in order to conduct the current to the deeper structures. So we invade the body tissues, and in order to do this, we usually use needle electrodes. The advantage of using invasive electrodes is that they can be used for the application of current to a small localized area, and we can conduct the current to deeper structures, which was not possible with rubber electrodes. When we are using rubber electrodes, the amount of current that we can apply, the intensity of current that we can apply is very small, and that is usually worn off when the current is trying to go through the superficial tissues. Hence we cannot reach the deeper structures. But with invasive electrodes, since the electrode is going into the deeper structures, the current can be easily conducted to the deeper tissues. The disadvantage of using invasive electrodes is that since it invades the body tissues, it causes pain to the patient, and also since the surface area of the electrodes is quite small, they cannot be used for larger areas. These kind of electrodes are usually used for electromyography studies. And the last category of electrodes is the implantable electrodes. These electrodes are the electrodes that can be placed inside the body cavities for continuous stimulation of tissues. Say if we want stimulation of tissues for a longer period, say for a few days or a few weeks or a few months, or even for a lifetime. In case of a pacemaker, we can use implantable electrodes. So you are placing these implantable electrodes inside the body cavity using any surgical process, and you're placing it in such a way that the electrode is positioned at the precise point which you want to stimulate. This can be for some particular muscle, it can be for some particular nerve. So you can localize that point and you place the electrode over that precise point which you need to stimulate. But for this process, in order to implant these implantable electrodes, you need to perform a surgical maneuver. And usually it is done when the patient requires some long-term stimulation or long-term monitoring. But here the patient will always need to be cautious whenever the patient is going into any electromagnetic field, because the electromagnetic field can interfere with the working of whatever device is being implanted into the patient's body. Say for example, when we talk about a pacemaker works on the same principles. A pacemaker uses implantable electrodes. So whenever the patient is going into electromagnetic field, the field is going to interfere with the working of the pacemaker. And whenever we are using implantable electrodes, this kind of problems will always be an issue for the patient. So the patient will always need to be cautious whenever they are surrounded by a strong electromagnetic field. So these were the different types of electrodes. And whatever type of electrode we are using, that will depend on a variety of conditions, that will depend on what basically the need is for that particular patient. We can use rubber electrodes, we can use metal vacuum electrodes, self-adhesive electrodes, we can use implantable electrodes or invasive electrodes. Ultimately, in order to make that decision about which electrode we want to use, we need to have complete understanding of the functioning of the pathology that the patient is suffering from, the advantages of that particular electrode, the disadvantages of that particular electrode, and then come to a conclusion. So this is not something that we need to decide just on the basis of a whim. We need to be very calculative about the decision of which electrode we want to use. So that was all about the types of electrodes. See you next with my next video. Thank you.